This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by CFU, the power of service.
Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. Bennett Cook, 15 points against Drake, career high against Indiana State. He's taking his game to a new level. I know you've been wanting to see that for a while now.
Yeah, and his confidence continues to grow. I think that's the biggest part of it, and that comes through playing. And I know that we've talked about it. I've talked about it since we started with him and with Ted and with Clint. That those guys, they haven't played much until we got to this year. And you see Ted getting better as we go through our practices. He played a good game against Drake. You can see Bennett. What he's done in conference play, he's shooting somewhere north of 70% from the field, which obviously is outstanding. But the plays that he's making, I think to me, is more impressive than that shooting percentage. He scored with contact in the second half against Drake. He made some great plays against Indiana State. In that first half, a couple offensive rebounds, a couple of tough catches that he turned into baskets. Start the second half with a little up fake, goes baseline and dunks it in traffic and gets hit really hard. So he's making, it isn't that he's just making a few layups and shooting 70+%. He's making some great plays, and a lot to do with gaining some experience and just watching his confidence rise. He's really doing a nice job.
A player who's invested a lot of time practicing, getting ready for senior year, Paul Jesperson. Why is he a versatile player that really can do a lot on both ends of the court for you?
Yeah, he's had a great year. For a long time, what he was doing because of how much he prepared himself. Making a lot of jump shots, making a lot of good plays for us, and he's had a little 3-4 game stretch here where he hasn't made as many shots, and I know, especially for a guy that puts in that amount of time. When you go to the game floor and it doesn't go the way it should because you've worked that hard, that can get a little bit frustrating. And so Paul's going through that a little bit right now, but it doesn't take away at all his importance and his value to our team. And the guys, Paul knows, but the other guys also know how much time he puts in. So even when he's in a stretch now where he isn't making them like he's used to, it still has a real impact on our team.
For so many underclassmen to know and to see that senior leader going out and doing that, that's going to pay dividends for years down the road, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a program deal, right? That's what allows you to have a good basketball team each and every year, to always be a team that's capable of doing well each and every year, and then have those years where you're able to certainly rise up and be better than that. But because of the way Paul goes about his business and that example he sets, now we got guys that are redshirting right now that'll be they're doing the same thing right now because they know that that's what it takes when they see Paul and they see Bo and they see those guys doing it.
He's a very versatile player who makes an impact for the UNI Panthers, and he's in his senior year. Here's a feature on UNI Senior, Paul Jesperson.
For the second straight season, Paul Jesperson is one of the top 3-point marksmen for UNI, making 48 a year ago and closing in on a new career high this season. His presence on the floor means a 4-guard lineup and a tough matchup for many post players trying to guard him.
Stretches the floor, stretches the defense, and really can shoot it, and has been working really hard on his being able to put it on the ground as well. So he adds a different dimension to the 4-man spot and the 3 spot than we've had.
And he's just an all-around athlete. He really, if he wants to, be on the arc and take someone there, if he wants to take it inside, he can score inside, he can score outside. And he's just a long dude, and I think defensively that helps a lot.
After transferring to UNI, Paul was named to the Missouri Valley Conference All-Newcomer team in 2015. Coming into this season, he was learning something new once again. The 6'6" guard has had to play as a forward due to the loss of 3 big men to graduation. Paul hit the gym to get faster and stronger, working to be in the best shape possible, knowing that he'd be needed to carry more of the workload inside.
I think he's really committed himself even more than he has before. I think all our guys are hard workers, but Paul was in the gym. I think he's trimmed down a little bit. His body looks great. Looks like he's moving a little bit better than he did a year ago.
Me and Coach Jake talked a lot about that in the spring, in the summer, so I changed my diet up a ton. Did a lot of extra conditioning, things like that, and then just worked on perfecting my craft, which is my shot. And I think a lot of that stuff is going to show this year.
For his senior year, the Wisconsin native is dialed in on leaving one last impression on UNI basketball. To do that, Paul knows it'll take everyone doing their job, and he also knows it starts with the seniors.
Get back to the tournament and hopefully, get further in that second game. So that's our goal is, first off to win that conference championship and then get back to NCAA tournament. Individually, I just want to look to contribute as much as I can to help us reach those goals.